What's up, YouTube? My name's Robert. I'm back for yet another reaction video. Now, this time around, we're going back to Dave, my favorite of the rappers that have been sent my way, the favorite of the rappers that I've been introduced to. And this is no secret. If you've been following my channel, you can possibly see many other Dave videos that I've checked out. Black Box Freestyle. I'm pretty sure I checked out his Fire in the Booth, and along with maybe one or two other. I know I did Dave Picture Me. I know I did LA Leakers Freestyle. Please, I'll have it down in the comment section. I'm sorry, I'll have it down in the description of this video. So if you want to check those videos out, please go to the description and you can check out my reaction and my thoughts, sort of those videos down in the description of below. I have a link for that right down below. So, without wasting any time, oh, and also JKYL+HYD too. Also, okay, now without wasting any time, let me give some shout outs to some necessary people that need some shout outs. I have a bunch of shout outs for this video. First off, for Dave Panic Attack, we got JH. We got Alex Calkenny. We got Benjamin Hunter. We got Graham Kelly. And then we got a vote up by Estelle Jallo. Let me say that to y'all one more time. We got JH, Alex Calkenny, Benjamin Hunter, Graham Kelly, and then a vote up by my girl Estelle Jallo. Alright. Thank you all for supporting my channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I love to get your input, especially about this guy Dave. Please keep it coming. He has been one of the hardest hitting guys that I've been checking out. I have some friends that I've introduced him to and they just absolutely love him. I want to find some more good stuff about this guy. I'm sure it's out there, but I know you know it more than I know it. So thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I have to just kind of get that on there because I got to get more subscribers. I'm trying to push myself to get a Patreon account eventually, and I want to have supporters that can actually make that happen. But I have to be putting out good content too, right? So it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50. But I appreciate everybody that's been supporting my channel. Thank you all. You guys are awesome. I love you all. Now, of course, it is time. Wasting no more time, Dave Panic Attack. The live version, I made sure of that. 2017. So, kicking the sucker off in. Move over. 3, 2, 1. Click. 1. Got a beard now. My man on the piano. There we go. There we go.
I bet them boys think I'm panicking, itching to see how I handle it when snakes start rattling. Calm, I can show you about harm. Put blades into palms, half the length of my arm. I end up in a station and I'm staring into space like a mannequin in Clark's. I ain't panicking, I ain't had a random change of heart. Cash points and cannabis, you cocaine snort if you think I got caught. I'm kicking like a stallion. I lived in a yard and my mummy tried hard for all the things that I wanted, but my money was inadequate. I'd probably be killed by my cousins back in Africa if they knew I risked my hot food and resources every day to dress nicer on a camera. I don't need your input or your managers. Forget him and his lame job. It's been 2 years and you're sitting in the same spot, chilling in the same blocks. Me and you are different. You talk about beef while I plan your route home. I run up in your safe spot and leave the place taped off. It's deeper than a name drop. Real problems don't need discussions. I fear God and not repercussions. I'm only angry at the choices that I didn't make. I don't regret what I did, but what I didn't say. And for this money, I'm on a different wave. That's why I ain't written in his will when I say that I'm on his estate. It comes to arms, well, I got an entourage like Vinny Chase. This ain't Chirac, we don't need a 38, just 2 young G's, one night pouch and this little blade. That day. Give thanks to your God, cause there isn't one prayer your mummy didn't say. Still wonder what my dad would say. And it's a mess, cause I just wanted us to bond like Sean Connery, Daniel Craig. No first steps, no, my daddy couldn't see me cry. I'm still searching for the reason why. I was 6 months old at a bus stop, my mum no home, struggling to get him in like a legal high. We're so volatile, look over the reasons why people die. Man, this beef never sleeps or slides. Man are dying over minor violations. That's why I keep the beef and the bread separate like TGIs. They touch us, we pay them back like it's PPI. Let's ride, get animated like CGI, dead being a hype man. I'll settle for his right hand, you can't buy heart, remember. Hawkeye, you think these undercover cars could get us? Well, I can't spot the bacon in the past in Vectros. Don't you find it funny that I study law and still recruit young fraud stars like I'm Harvey Specter? I'm hot-headed, I swear that I had a dream though. A young fire before I'd spoken with Avellino. Nowadays, music's got my schedule looking hectic. I ain't got a timeline and Travolta with Tarantino. Look, I ain't slacking. It's money over
Love the
passion,
references,
passion
man.
over money. Hate this money with a passion. Money's just a paper. I got value in my assets. I got value in my mental. It's me, phrase or 169 on instrumental. I swear that I'll make it rapping. Even if it kills me, I swear that I'll make it happen. My digital piano till my hands bled, literally. I was smashing keys till my fingers grew callous. How could I fear rappers? I feel words, hear colours, defeat challenge. Give thanks to my synesthesia. I ain't a rapper, I'm a bloody genius. And when I see you, don't panic. Remember what you said on the roads, there's no lacking. I don't want to see you draw for your boot, there's no time. I'll jump out the passenger side and there's no traffic. Catch you with your girl, your mum, you do the same. So we'll take you to an inch of your life through your chatting. Just make peace. I used to let disrespect slide to make peace. Now it's like I'm stuck in two minds to my reaction, cause my pride and my ego turned giant like James Dean. I'm a mess, right? And if that catty doesn't, the third time with no strings attached like a test drive, I'm telling her I'm cutting in the next 5. All communication breaking down like an enzyme. Seconds, the most precious commodity.
That
I
light,
invest time. I was late every day straight for 3 years. Guess that's 2 ways that I could never make a deadline. I was out in Power League, no with camel in the rain, hell sleep with my football on the deadline. Scraping by on pennies, trying to link a jersey with my 85-20 and I couldn't link one. Squares was a game, had me all stressed, got finessed by my main and he didn't get touched. Had me sitting there. Think about my people and the times that we missed. Like, have you ever lost love? Have you ever had a guy that would die so you live in a cage, kept away from your brother and your mum? In my world, you're unsure to the people you can trust when you lose the only person that was there from the jump. I'm as
Does anybody recognize that piano riff?
From the knife and the siphon to the shotgun shells in a party with a pump. Ask Adam, ask Paddy. With squares as strikers, but I'm more like Ebro over Vardy when it's beef because I hardly ever run. I've got pride. I see man running for their life, get caught. Now they're covering their heart and their lungs with their arms on his ones because his right hand panicked. I don't even blame him. You seen a man scream while he bleeds on the pavement, guts in his hands, civilians with tissue putting pressure where the pain is, the panic as you fade in, blocking out sound so your body shuts down when your organs start failing. Knife crime dangerous, next day famous, give it 6 years, they won't remember what your name is. Everything changes when your case is irrelevant, and all the guys who claim they would ride in your name looking lost, them boys don't have half the heart to settle it. I've seen a whole class end up dead or in jail. Ask Scales about times he was chilling with my brother in the chicken shop opposite the entrance to Tennyson's. Everybody's dying, but nobody's rising up a Remington. We've got shanks and false hope, everybody's selling it. You ain't getting rich quick trying to sell big bits. Too lazy to work, so you want to own a business or a clothing line. No vision, you can't cut corners in a line of life. Karma's like the tightest vice, I'm running on my own. CCTVs in your hands, bro, they've got it on your phone. If they catch me going home, looking for another young rapper to expose and probably cut him from the scene. Because with the evidence they gain, I'm getting more than just a soul. I ain't living for the gram, man, a snitching on a cam. If I hit him, then I'm done. But if he dips me, he's the man, I can't win. There's no way I'm handling that. If I run, then I'm a neat. But if I don't, then I'm a fool. So on road, I'm looking happy. But I'm screaming in my head, having panic attacks. They got me anxious. I'm 2 wrong responses from a shanking at any given time. I've been there and done that on many different nighs. And that's probably the reason I got many different rhymes. I'm really living life.
Wow. 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 He said in one of the last videos, I think it was Black Box, brother, I've been to the end of the roads. Brother, I've been to the pen for my bros. Oh, man. And he always, that's his center, that's his nucleus. He always talks about why you ought to aspire for more, why you ought to rise above, why, and it's perspective. Now, on one of the other videos that I put out early in this wave, I brought up Dave just because it was a kamikaze video, I think. It was Kamikaze Justice. And I brought up Dave just because the themes that they were hitting on were so parallel that I could not think of right now I can't look at any of the other rappers and we talk about things like justice or injustice or street life or just perseverance or endurance. I can't hear those themes without thinking about this kid. And that's just imagine that. Your name is synonymous with endurance and strength in somebody else's mind. That's where Dave is at for me right now. I'm going to be totally honest and totally real. While I have crazy respect for this guy, I have crazy respect for people who use their platform to enable good and try to incite good and positivity. Not like positivity like rainbow sunshine, no, but positivity, seriously, something that people can actually look to and actually count on. I really appreciate that, and I think people just in general really appreciate that. Appreciate his message, appreciate how he delivers it, and then appreciate his talent on top of that. I didn't know the dude could play piano. Now I know he plays piano. And again, something that I saw with actually ironically something that I saw with Kamikaze at the end of his video. He kind of went into somewhat of a acapella and it kind of finished up on a stage, and at the end of it, I kind of said to myself, does he do slam poetry? And I was talking about Kamikaze. But this venue, the way it was like a live setup, and this says live from Future Festival 2017. This setup kind of reminds you of like a coffee shop setup for like a slam poetry also, or it's like a slam poetry event. And that just makes you reflect on what rap is or what rap ought to be. It ought to be a living, breathing form of poetry that people can relate to. And I loved that Dave manages to talk about these dark, I don't know, well, these dark and serious themes, and then balance them out with all these crazy references. You brought up James Bond. You brought up, in the past, he's brought up Batman. He's been in The Dark Knight. I think he's also brought up Spider-Man and a few other superheroes. He's brought up all these different things, whether it was like movie, TV, or something like that. So I guess maybe if you're not even listening to the stuff that matters, or at least you're listening to something, because that's better than nothing. Maybe that's the thought on that. Or maybe he's just trying to balance that out, I guess. So it's not like totally grim at the end of it. Like you have something that can just make you smile along with the message itself, the serious message itself. But everything just seems fluent and just works with what he had. It didn't seem like choppy or edged. Like I was listening to Gets. Now, literally, I'm listening to the rapper Gets. Every other line, I'm like, oh my god. But that's that one rapper style. Then you totally flip it. Here's another rapper style. Here's another rapper style. Here's another rapper style. Each of them are different flavors, and you try to just experience them all and try to get them all and just try to really understand them all. When you just take it all in and just let it all sit in your mind, just sit in your head. But I do have to ask, just because I always want to just pull the people watching this video and watching the other videos that I now have about Dave. What do you think Dave's strength is? Because I'm always in admiration of how much he's seen at such a young age. I keep saying this even if I sound like a broken record. And I think I said in the also in the other video I said for Kamikaze, Dave, it seems like, is wise beyond his years. And when you have that type of mentality, when you've been through so much at such a young age, you end up becoming wiser beyond your years, end up becoming smarter and more, you end up getting a better perspective, a higher perspective than the people around you. And it kind of reminds me of a quote that I heard once on a really long hiking trip that I had with Scouts. So I used to be, actually I still kind of am, in Boy Scouts. And this was a quote that was said to me after I had completed a 10-day backpacking trip out in the woods and had basically hiked up a few different mountains, but ended up climbing up to like 20,000 feet at the summit. Now, I try to hype it up, but it was really all that. Right? But just bear with me. Dave kind of reminds me of this quote, and just in terms of how he lived out his life, and in terms of how he handles his experiences with everything that he's been through. And I try to just compare it to something. And it reminds me of this quote that I heard from this hike at the end of it. It goes a little bit like this. It's by an author named Rene Dumont. You cannot stay on the summit forever. You have to come down again. So why bother in the first place? Just this. What is above knows what is below. What is below does not know what is above. One climbs, one sees. One descends, one sees no longer, but one has seen. There is an art of conducting oneself in a lower region by the memory of what one saw higher up. When one can no longer see, one can at least know. Alright? Now, Dave kind of reminds me of this imagery. He's been to the place that we all idealize. Well, he's been in both places. He's been to a low place, or I guess a place that some people idealize, where it's this thug life, this hard life that people think is really cool. Whether you got a whole crew behind you, and he said that in there. He had made a reference to the Hobbit. Look, I don't need a whole crew like the Shire or whatever. He made a reference to that, and that's what people kind of idealize as being this high place, this really cool thing. He's like, look, I've been there, and he's been to that place, and something that he continues to tell people all the time. So look, I've been to the end of that road. I've seen where it leads. I know how it ends. And for him to have been in that place where people have kind of looked up to, some people, where they think it's cool, or they think it's whatever, okay, or they think it's desirable, or whatever, for him to have been in that place, and then for him to now be in a different place, or on the level, I guess, with other people, and then be like, look, I've been to this so-called higher place. I know it's not a higher place. And I'm trying to tell you that so you can know something. And you know what? Maybe other people won't believe him, but if they do have to go through it the hard way, they'll come up and come down. And maybe if they come up and come back down hard and land on their heads, that's totally on them. But just on hearing it, Dave kind of reminds me a lot of that quote that I heard years ago. And I try to just keep this quote in the back of my mind and just keep it with me. Just because it's really powerful and just how it resonates. And Dave, I feel, kind of resonates in a similar way when he delivers his messages that he's trying to deliver. And I really have to appreciate that about Dave. And I really have to just appreciate, again, people like him that use their platform to elevate these messages, to educate the people what is worth pursuing in life, even when you think you know what is pursuing in life, you know? So I really, again, have to say that about Dave. And again, I have to give shout outs and applause to everybody that has said, yo, Rob, check out this video, Panic Attack. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I kind of knew just going in it was going to be good, and I just really appreciate it. So before I close out, one more time, I'm going to go to the YouTubers that had requested this one, give you one more shout out. Again, that is JH. That is Alex Kilkenny. You got Benjamin Hunter, Graham Kelly, and then he was voted up by Estelle Jala. So again, I'd like to thank you all for supporting my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and this goes for everybody else checking out this video for the first time. If you are checking it out for the first time, please like my video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'd love to get some more suggestions from you. And whenever I do get a suggestion from you, I'll be sure to give you a shout out, just like I did to these fine folks that I did right here in this video. So thank you for checking out this video right here. Thank you for checking out my channel, and as always, I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Peace.